Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me again here. Lona is my name for those on you here. Guys, this is a channel whereby we are saying we are sharing information for IT professionals in general so that we can actually enlighten one another on different areas that we can get ourselves into and probably help us to get jobs or rather to move within the market of IT. So my good name is Lona, and for those on you here, you're so much welcome. So guys, I think first of all, I'm going to say my lighting and my camera, they're not so good. So bear with me with that. We'll fix it going forward. Yeah. So guys, I think I left you yesterday on my previous video on how I got my first job. And I remember I was giving you a story of how I went for that interview, and I went to be interviewed for something which I wasn't prepared for. Yeah. And I'm really happy because those guys were really considerate, that they gave me my results there and then after the interview. And they told me that they can actually refer me to someone who's probably looking for someone for an entry level IT job. And that was really good because okay, they said they liked my personality and my attitude. So yeah, that's why they were ready to refer me to someone. And so guys, at first I thought maybe ni kusema tu, ni kuniconsole juu sasa interview hapa nimefail, but he kept his word, and he gave my contacts to someone else who was actually looking for someone. So after like 2 days, I got a WhatsApp message, someone asking me if I can work for them because they got my contacts from so and so. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. I can work for you. And they called me in for an interview. So guys, this is the interesting part. So I went for the interview, and uh, I passed the interview. Yeah, I passed the interview. I was really happy. And the reason why I passed that interview, actually, the interview was basically on two things. It was actually networking and Linux administration. How interesting that is. Because guys, the reason why I'm saying it was interesting is because those are the things that I was just studying, previously before. I mean, just before going for that first interview. Those are the things that I was really checking because remember I did telecom in campus, but I didn't really do so much outside telecom. So I didn't know so much. I didn't know so much about networking. I didn't know so much about system administration and the like. So the interview got me at the very right time, and that's what I'm saying, guys. These add-ons which I'm talking about, they can really come handy for you. You can never know, but someday you might actually say you're glad because you studied for this and that. So yeah, I did that interview, and I passed. And for Linux, they were actually using Debian. Yeah, they were using Debian, and I'd practiced a lot on Ubuntu. So Ubuntu and Debian, they're the same. And so I'd actually studied for practiced a lot on Ubuntu and CentOS. So those two, because I felt like those are the ones that were being that were mostly used in the market out here. Of course, I know there are others like Red Hat, Oracle, and the like. But for some reason, I just decided to practice on Ubuntu and CentOS. And by the way, guys, this is just by the way, did you know that CentOS has actually come to an end? I hope you know that, and if you didn't, now you know. So CentOS came to an end. CentOS 7 came to end of support, I think, in 2019. Is it 2019 or 2020 or 2018? Around there, but you can search in the internet and get the right information. And CentOS 8 actually came to an end last year, 2021. Yeah. And CentOS 7 is going to end of support around 2020, not support, end of life around 2023, if I'm not wrong. You can go to the internet and research on that. So if you are a CentOS lover, kama mimi, pole. Kuna Red Hat though, and then there's the other open source distributions which work the same like CentOS. Like you can check on Rocky Linux and Alma Linux. Those two, they're actually so good. Yeah. You can, for someone who was a lover of CentOS. Yeah. So that was just a by the way. So back to my story, guys. So I went for the interview and I passed the interview, and I'm actually trying to emphasize on the fact that I passed that interview because of the add-ons. I'm calling them add-ons, guys, because they're not necessarily in the exact course that you are doing, but they are related. Okay, they are related. So telecom and IT, they're related, and that's what I'm saying, guys. Don't just focus on that one thing that you're doing. Let me give you an example. Somebody who is doing software development, yeah, software developer. That's someone who is basically writing code, yeah. Yeah. So mtu kama huyo anaweza sema, because me I'm a software developer, then I'm good. Yes, you're good, but you need to understand also the hardware part, yeah. Because at the end of the day, your software will actually be hosted in a hardware. Yeah, so you need to understand the infrastructure where your application will eventually be hosted. You need to understand networking. You need to understand there is a IP addressing, DNS, and such things. So that's what also I'm saying, like try to look at the related, some other related information that will really help you as you move forward in your career. Don't just like limit yourself in one thing and say, me, I'm an expert in this. It's good to become an expert in one thing. It's really good, but it's also good to have good skills in the others so that you can actually do something else even in the absence of that. I know if you're a software developer, then there could be an infrastructure engineer, which is okay. But I'm saying if you're coming to the market for the first time, it's good to be able to understand. It's good when you understand the different fields so that if you don't get a job as a software developer, you can actually get a job as a maybe as a system admin, or and from there you can actually pick on what you're interested in, because you're already in the market, so you can actually maybe move to a department which is actually doing something that you're actually more interested in. So that's really my encouragement. Try to expand yourself, try to expand your knowledge, guys. The lighting is really really bad, but kindly bear with me, kindly bear with me. um yeah, so that's how I got my first job, guys. And then another thing that I wanted to mention is being intentional about something. Being intentional means that you're really working towards getting something. Yes. So another thing that I do, guys, I don't know if there's any other person who does like me. If I want to go get a certain job, for example, I give myself time, like maybe six, assuming it's not something that I'm already doing. Yeah, assuming it's something that's probably a little bit outside what I'm currently doing. So that means I probably don't have the right skills or the right experience for that job at that particular time. Yeah. So what I usually do is that I give myself time. I can say maybe in the next 6 months or 7 months, I should be able to apply for this other job which I want to venture into. Yeah. So what I usually do in those 6 months or 7 months, I look at the job description from different companies. For example, if it's something like what, let's say I want to become a cloud engineer, for example. A cloud engineer anafaa kujua nini? So I go online, I search for cloud engineer jobs from different companies, and I look at the requirements. So this company wants this person to have known this and this and this and that. So in my checklist, so I do like a checklist. So I say, already I have this one, two, three. Yeah. So I need to look for 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And how do I look for 3, 4, 5, 6? I start studying and looking for labs to practice. Maybe talking to people who are in those areas, who are already working in those areas, just to make sure that I'm actually equipping myself to towards something that I'm ready to take up maybe in the next 7 months, as I said. So I put together different requirements from different companies for the same job, and I make sure that I get those extra skills which probably I don't have for now, or maybe this other company has something extra. I make sure that I also get that one extra thing. Yeah, so that's how I usually do, and it really works for me because I do it very intentionally. I make sure that I'm working for this. It's something that I put in my mind that in the next 7 months I'm going to apply for this job. Yeah, I'm not doing it right now. I don't have the right skills right now, but in the next 7 months I should be able to confidently apply for that job and confidently go for an interview. And it has really worked for me, guys. I'll probably give you stories going forward. um and yeah, it has really worked for me. That's one thing I also wanted to share. And for you who is watching me who has a job, how do you do it? How do you do it? Have you ever felt like you want to get out of your current job and maybe move to something else which you probably not having those skills at the moment? How do you go about it so that you actually make sure that you get that job? So that's for me, guys. That's my strategy. And also, guys, I wanted to mention about the certifications. I think in my first video, I talked about certifications. And guys, this is one thing which I've realized about certification. People actually sometimes there are so many certifications out there which are really handy when it comes to the IT field. but sometimes we don't do ourselves good. What do I mean by that? Some certifications have a lot of freely available answers. I can say that answers, questions, and answers that someone can actually cram naenda afanye certification na apite, and then you add in your CV. And guys, I don't encourage that one. I feel like when you're doing a certification, then do it from your heart. Like, study for the course, get the right knowledge, get the right skills, do that exam, pass, and you can actually have something to show. It will be easy for you when you go for an interview to explain, because you actually read the course, yeah, instead of just maybe using the answers which are available online for you to get the certification. Alafu ukienda interview unashindwa explain. And what's happening nowadays, guys, when you go for an interview, those interviews actually, they use your CV. They actually pull out your CV and they start asking you questions to see if you're actually matching what you're saying in your CV. Yeah, so they go by the difference the different things that you've put in your CV, asking you, so you said you've done this, so you have this in your CV, tell us about this and that. So it's really good, guys, that when you go for an interview with that CV of yours, you can actually explain yourself. It's really embarrassing when you have something, especially umeweka hapo kitu kubwa that unaweza fanya hivi and you can't. And guys, it's really good to be honest when you're going for an interview. Don't try to behave like you want to look so big when you're not big. Sometimes actually your and that's what I said the other day, like your personality and your confidence can actually carry the day. You don't have to have known everything. Even those people who are doing that interview for you, they know that you probably don't have that experience. Yeah. So they just want to see, how are you answering your questions? How confident are you? Are you trying to lie to us? And the moment they detect some kind of lie in you, trust you me, you'll fail that interview. So it's really good to be honest. Weka kwa hiyo CV yako the things that you know unaweza jitetea nazo. Okay. Don't exaggerate. Don't put things that can actually make people look at you like, you guy, we can't trust you. We can't trust you with this CV of yours. Then definitely we can't trust you with our job. Yeah. So be honest. Be as honest as much as possible. Be you answer those questions as you. Don't answer those questions thinking about someone who probably you've asked, ulikuwa umeuliza, kwa hii job mnafanyanga nini, akakwambia tunafanyanga hivi na hivi, so you're trying to recall alikuwa amekwambia nini and you can't remember. So answer those questions as you. Give your explanation as much as possible. Sometimes they also want to see how you argue out things, yeah, how you give your, they may not really want you to give the right answer, but how you explain that, how you give that explanation towards arriving at the answer. So just be you, be confident as you, be honest as you, and have that CV to reflect you. Don't exaggerate. Don't put things that will make people think that you're this big guy. Kumbe hujui kitu. And you see, such things can actually put some companies off, because they'll be like, ule jama. The next time you apply, watakuwa like, ule jamaa mwenye yeye anatudanganyanga, hiyo CV yake anakwanga tu ameiweka sana, na in the real sense hajui vitu. So be very careful with that, guys. So yeah, that's that for today. I hope I've given you my experience of how I got my first job, how it was really important for me to have done those extra classes, to acquire those extra skills, and also how I usually look for my other job, my strategy for looking for that other job. So bye, guys, for now. I think in my next video, please stay tuned in my next video. I'll be talking about certifications, the ones that I've done so far. Kuna hiki kitu hapa inaniangalia. Here. That one. So AWS Community Builder. This is one of the platforms which I actually got a free voucher to do a certification in AWS. So stay tuned in, because in my next video I'll be talking about these guys and some others that can actually help you to get free certifications and get to have those really nice certificates without actually paying. So bye for now. See you in the next one.